while all faiths that seek God there is life and light in the actions and in the path of those who are spiritual and who act with compassion. There is truth emanating from those who would do good for others. Fanaticism tends to breed the destruction of truth. Fanaticism tends to destroy honesty and tends to be a destructive force that isolates individuals, so compassion can no longer be demonstrated in an outward way. Fanaticism in religion and fanaticism in politics are one and the same. For people will say to you, religion and politics are separate. But most people do not realize that your religion is what you live. And as a result, for many people, politics has become their religion. And this is dangerous when fanaticism and idealism takes hold beyond compassion and destroys the ability for compassion. You must understand that religion, that spirituality, that the growth in truth is an outward flow of compassion, an outward flow of love. It is a solidarity in your faith. Politics is the same. And when an idea blocks compassion, it is the same damage to spiritual growth for the individual. Because your religion is not what you say you are. Your religion is what you do. Your faith is not the name of a sect. It is your actions. Imagine that for people claim to be compassionate Christians, yet think of themselves as holding the only key to the divine understanding, and thus wish to condemn all others to hell. Is that Christianity? That is not the teachings of the Christ. For the Christ, the Lord Jesus of Nazareth, opened his arms to all and asked that all people would come to the truth, to the light, to the love of God, to the love of the divine. So, suddenly you have countries about the world divided in partisan politics. And the good of the party is placed above the good of the people who are being served. And that is the action that the individual members in the party are taking. Now think about that, for that is the same thing that happens in churches, in denominations, even in different faiths that fight one against the other, saying, we have the truth, hold to our idea. And in grasping for the support of their idea, they lose the compassion for anyone who does not support their idea. So if politics also becomes religion, because your actions are the essence of your faith, then if you lose compassion and allow the idea, the principle, to be more important than the person, you have lost the essence of the Spirit in service that is necessary for a country to thrive. If a religion, if a church loses compassion for the members and motivates only by fear, that has lost its spirituality. It has become a negative motivator, and in turn is practicing a form of black magic. And when politicians motivate by fear, they are practicing a form of black magic. Now just think how important it is to leave aside fanaticism. Fanatics wanting to fulfill the letter of the law brought an adulterous woman before the Christ. He leaned down to the ground, and what did he write? Perhaps he wrote the names of those fanatics who were circled about wanting to stone the woman. Perhaps he wrote their sins. Perhaps he doodled their names and a list of sins and began to draw lines to connect them. What we know for sure is Jesus chose to give compassion, to give love, to give grace, to give forgiveness. And we know for sure that the others left in shame. Yet politicians, not realizing that politics often has become their religion, act as if they want only to be the one to cast the first stone. And the multitude of people who follow these politicians have endangered their own spiritual growth, for they have accepted politics as their religion. Sometimes they go to church, sometimes they do not. But any time you speak to them, they are espousing a political doctrine and never thinking to talk about their spirituality, their faith, the love of God. God, all merciful, God, forgiving, God, loving beyond the bounds of love. How can such love breed fanaticism? How can such love create fanaticism? Fanaticism in politics, fanaticism in religion does not come from God. It comes from a hardened heart that seeks its own way, that seeks its own benefit and does not care for the benefit of others. We implore you, we beg you, love one another as your Lord has loved you. Have compassion one for another. Are you your brother's keeper? Yes. Are you responsible for your neighbor? Yes. If you do not want to accept this responsibility, at least be truthful to yourself and know that you are defying the teachings of love and compassion. There is no place in politics, and there is no place in religion for fanaticism. The time has come in one global world that people must learn to work together in love, in compassion, in truth, and in a very sincere and honest way, not with fingers crossed behind their backs, hoping they will not be caught. For that is but a lie. And Satan is a liar and the father of lies. And those who choose to lie, politicians or clergymen, your neighbor on the street, or one who supports a political policy mainly for self-gain, well, they are the spiritual children of Satan. We leave you with blessings and with peace. Peace and blessings be with you.